One of the many reasons why I connected with King of the Hill was for its storytelling techniques. It holds many relatable themes and lovable characters and didn't need to follow deliberate gag writing in order to be funny.
What if somebody wants theirs well done?
We ask them politely yet firmly to leave.
Humor was drawn organically from relatable social situations expressed throughout the series. Looking specifically at on-screen relationships, Bobby Hill is a character we can empathize with. Voiced by the extremely talented Pamela Adlon, she adds a lot of heart to the character with how she delivers his dialogue. I really like how Bobby evolves across the show. Significant changes in his development are well represented where some episodes are cleverly written to enhance his qualities. When portrayed on screen for a sitcom, relationships are an interesting spectacle. I find the concept is typically used for just a narrative focus, drawing on values of romance, heartbreak, and most commonly humor. What I also notice is sadly a lot of these relationships outside of your typical Ross and Rachel or Fry and Leela are just one-off stories that lack anything meaningful in the long term. Thankfully, King of the Hill delivers on a meaningful story that stands the test of time. One of my favourite episodes is the season 5 finale, Kidney Boy and Hamster Girl, a love story. It aired on the 13th of May 2001, written by Mike Judge, Garland Tester and Greg Daniels. With a simple misunderstanding derived from being in the wrong place at the wrong time, this evolved into a ludicrously silly plot. I found this story to be both touching and hilarious. It successfully works to further advance the relationship between Bobby Hill and Connie Supernuisenphone. I like how this ongoing storyline has progressed all the way from the first season. We originally see the pair become friends in the episode Westy Side Story, introducing Connie, who is voiced by Lauren Tom, another extremely talented voice actress. We see Connie develop feelings for Bobby by the 3rd season episode, and they call it Bobby Love, where she confides in Luann for help and understanding. Bobby is often seen as immature and childlike, but is written to be highly empathetic to those most important to him. This is evident during sequences of emotional conflict, such as in the 4th season, which is where Bobby solidifies his feelings for Connie in front of other people. I see this growing confidence in Bobby throughout as a noteworthy part of his character development. Our focus episode begins by showing Bobby's childlike sensitivity conflicting with Connie's mature way of thinking. She's excited for the middle school prom, entrusting Bobby to pick up the ticket so they can go together as a couple. The dialogue is fast-paced, riding their bikes where Bobby expresses a sudden concern coming to a stop. Approaching the nearby high school car park, he is immediately on the defensive. He follows the social hierarchy that supposedly will not allow for them to ride their bikes in this location. I really like how this scene immediately reinforces the position behind each character. This is where Bobby's fearful attitude takes the forefront, eventually leading to pure embarrassment. Connie disregards Bobby's concern as he yells out after her.
You are forcing me to protect you!
It is of course played for laughs, but we recognise how much Bobby really does care for Connie. And ironically, he was right to be concerned. As I am sure we have all experienced to some degree, school life is a power struggle. Two high schoolers representing the typical bully stereotype confront them both. With incredibly cheesy dialogue, the goal behind this conflict is meaningless. Simply by looking to intimidate others, this is done for the sake of remaining at the top of the social hierarchy. The bullies attempt to embarrass the pair, demanding them to sing a song in order to pass. Connie, rightfully so, refuses this demeaning request as Bobby then breaks out into song, giving her the chance to escape.
Just because we go to middle school.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
Throughout the series, their relationship was unique for the struggles that they both experienced. I enjoyed seeing their complete opposites work together. This would ensure the overarching story is therefore entertaining, where a lot of the humour is derived from the strange situations that they both face.
I brought you an air freshener.
This opening scene continues to show Bobby's inherent lack of shame. His misfortune is both a credit to his good-natured personality, but is also the comic relief at the expense of looking out for others. Cycling away as fast as he can, the bullies drive after him. Circumstance is rarely on Bobby's side, where his trouser leg gets caught in his bike chain. Out of desperation, he removes his pants and manages to escape, leaving his dignity behind. Bobby runs home, which brings us to a very short-lived B-plot for this episode. Briefly referenced in the pre-credit scene, nobody will allow Bill to use their bathroom. Dale therefore has the ingenious idea to purchase a portable toilet and charge people $1 to use it. Hank has no interest in the scheme but still falls victim to being involved in some capacity. Cutting back to Bobby, the following day he returns to where the incident began. This time, however, he is joined by both Connie and his best friend Joseph. His plan is to retrieve the bike and his pants without being noticed. He decides to go alone, where I greatly appreciate the dialogue in this scene where Bobby shows an understanding for how important the prom event is to Connie. He asks Joseph to take her if he doesn't make it back as he plunges into the unknown. Seeing the bullies come towards him, he dives into the bushes and crawls for his bike, only for the school security guard to drag him out. Assuming that he is a freshman, this is the catalyst for where the slippery slope of misunderstanding begins to take shape. I really love the visual gag of Bobby looking across to his friends as the main entrance door slowly slams shut like a prison cell, cutting to black. Seemingly trapped inside the high school, Bobby struggles to retain a low profile. While sneaking around the corridors, he does find some solace from something familiar: processed food. Discovering the food court has a Taco Bueno, his fears are buried deep in his stomach. He then looks on at the fun activities available to the students, which then removes his fear of high school. Although short, one of my personal favourite scenes from this episode is Bobby reporting back to his middle school friends as a conquering hero. I can't help but laugh at how surprised Connie is that Bobby even survived. This is where his growing ego now likes the idea of high school. He unexpectedly decides to return, showing an increase in confidence. I respect the efforts made by the writers for taking Bobby out of his comfort zone, which then changes his behaviour. Still considered to be a freshman, Bobby is confronted in the senior washroom by a group of senior students. Taking him by the legs, they decide to give him a swirly, dunking his head in the toilet. Quickly improvising, Bobby unexpectedly comes up with a ludicrous alibi for why he looks like a freshman, but makes it abundantly clear he is a senior. He plays the sympathy card with this lie, explaining that he has stunted growth and failing kidneys. Suddenly, the seniors become fascinated with him. His witty lines of dialogue are delivered with such confidence, which only seems to impress them even more.
Anybody who says they remember that party wasn't really there.
Dude.
Armed with the prospect of his kidneys failing at any moment, this strange situation increases Bobby's popularity. This is where he gains the bizarre nickname Kidney Boy. Joining the seniors, he takes part in their school competition where the goal is to have the American rock band No Doubt play at their prom. Hanging out with his new friends, this becomes awkward when Connie strikes up a conversation. Having a middle schooler talking to him raises suspicion about the metaphorical mask of Kidney Boy. Having now lost a chance at buying tickets to the middle school prom, he convinces Connie to join him at the high school prom instead. His humble qualities are often reflected in instances where he tries to repair the damage he has unintentionally caused. Understanding his mistake and getting swept up by high school life, his gesture surprisingly comes across as romantic. When Connie leaves, I like how this scene continues to reflect an unnecessary prejudice of middle schoolers. Calling him out, the seniors pick on Bobby for hanging around with a middle schooler where his quick thinking continues to be his own worst enemy. Adding another chapter to his elaborately dishonest story, he tells the high schoolers that Connie is a girl he knows from the same children's hospital that he attends for kidney treatments. He claims that she is also a senior and that she has a small tail. With the sincerest intentions, Bobby's actions are meant well but are not well received. Cutting to the next scene, Connie is helping him choose a suitable outfit for the prom. Conveniently, they bump into the seniors, making the situation incredibly awkward for Bobby. They stare at Connie's behind and start asking about her tail. This obviously leaves her feeling confused and very uncomfortable. This style of comedy is a classic example of schadenfreude, which refers to someone taking pleasure from the misfortune of others. The seniors are quick to make fun of her, asking silly questions in order to lower her self-esteem. Bobby is conflicted, dragged into the changing rooms away from prying eyes. Connie confronts him, demanding to know what has been going on and why people think she has a tail. He proceeds to spin another story, but then finally admits the truth. I applaud the dialogue delivery from Pamela Adlon throughout this sequence. Hiding behind his own good intentions, he tried to be romantic, but sadly, this comes across as mean-spirited. Connie is left to feel embarrassed, refusing to continue with the charade. Even in serious moments, the writers deliver some gut-punching comedy at the most unexpected times.
There are people who really have tails! Maybe.
Now that his actions have pushed Connie away, this is where Bobby continues the facade of Kidney Boy. At this point, he's in too deep, which eventually he does realise. I love how the writers encourage this behaviour where he becomes engulfed by the role of a high school senior. Bobby has always naturally gravitated to being a performer, such as being the class clown, and this acting semblance ironically depicts an unrecognisable change where he becomes the person he initially feared. Since Connie rejected his seemingly thoughtful gesture, this further solidifies his commitment to the role of Kidney Boy. I like how Dale's Porter-Gribble narrative is incorporated into the main story. The seniors set themselves a challenge as part of the No Doubt competition. Bobby has an idea. Inspired by cramming a large number of people into a phone booth, he influences the other seniors into using the portable toilet for the same purpose. Observing from a distance, Connie is further irritated only for Joseph to unexpectedly offer her a spare ticket to the middle school prom. Making sure Bobby can see this exchange, she agrees to accompany him, provoking jealousy. Sealing the deal, she holds his hand in public. Despite his actions being the consequence of poor decision-making, Bobby does eventually show feelings of regret. During the high school assembly, it is announced that Harlem High has won the competition and no doubt will be playing at their prom. Although Bobby heavily influenced the winning result, he is still a middle schooler, which slowly unfolds as a big reveal to the seniors. Dragging him along, the seniors force him into a morally conflicting situation. The group collectively plan to ruin the middle school prom. Taking Bobby on a car ride, they head to the dance with the aim of throwing water balloons at the middle school students. Bobby knows this is wrong and suddenly loses the initial burst of confidence he once had. This is mainly shown where his dialogue becomes less assertive by suggesting they should be doing something cooler, but he is instead ignored. Unfortunately for Stuart Dooley and his date, they fall first victim to the water balloon attack. Bobby shows his cowardice by standing behind the high schoolers, almost hiding behind a tree where he can do nothing but watch. Hearing Connie speak out against the seniors, this suddenly grabs his attention where he attempts to continue lying, but Connie shuts this down.
She's
In middle school.
Middle school?
Although both characters should be against one another, with Connie feeling disrespected, she bizarrely defends Bobby as the seniors turn against him. She then hilariously continues the tale-related story. Despite the good intentions, this lie only goes on to reflect Bobby's lie. The seniors aim to throw a water balloon at Connie, where Bobby heroically dives in front. And so, standing up for those closest to him, Bobby reveals to the seniors that he has been a middle schooler all along. Baffled by this reveal, the seniors repeatedly pelt him with water balloons. I really like how this conflict is a continuation of the established school hierarchy from before. Understandably, the seniors express their anger for Bobby lying to them for so long. They leave him on the ground soaked in water, where he is made to look like a loser once again. Even though this ending seems bleak for Bobby, I appreciate how he learns a lesson from moving out of his comfort zone. He enjoyed being part of something different, which in turn allowed him to value what he already has. This realization comes into play when Connie continues to go into the prom with Joseph. He feels like he may have lost her, but after a brief talk, the realization that their relationship has not been compromised is enough to comfort him. Wrapping up the episode, the pair are then seen riding their bikes when the seniors suddenly pull up in their car. Bobby flinches, but is then handed a ticket to the senior prom. Admitting that he helped the seniors win the No Doubt appearance, he agrees to attend on the condition that he can go with Connie. This final scene is very cathartic, allowing Bobby to let go of the Kidney Boy illusion, making up for his actions. This episode still remains a personal favourite of mine. It provides a humorous relationship storyline, but gives a strengthened focus to developing the characterization of Bobby Hill. Taking him out of his comfort zone is something I heavily appreciate. This kind of change is experimental, allowing the writers to try something new. By using his strength as a class clown seeking attention, he becomes consumed by the role of a high school senior, which goes to his head. Brushing off his usual timid and caring characteristics, this episode allowed Bobby to demonstrate bravery in front of others. He remains modest where possible, but humiliation does sometimes get the better of him. Despite these events, Bobby is still able to reflect on his own moral principles, ensuring that he can make amends for his mistakes. Featuring some well-known tracks from No Doubt, such as Don't Speak and Bathwater, I really enjoyed this final shot. Bobby admits that Kidney Boy is gone for good, where the seniors interpret this to mean that Kidney Boy died. Gwen Stefani announces the terrible news, dedicating the final song to his memory.
Poor Kidney Boy.
Rest in peace, Kidney Boy. You were a work of fiction. Thank you for listening to my thoughts on Kidney Boy and Hamster Girl. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave me a like down below. Let me know in the comments what is your favourite episode of King of the Hill. And for more content, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, DVD Review Studios.
Are you threatening me?